Welcome back to the Diara Show. Have you ever felt like life was a drag by age 30? Are you working to eventually retire later in life? As reality sets in, the retirement age for some millennials have been pushed back. Gen Z are working 2 or more jobs, 25 years old, looking 36? That was sold to us, and the American dream that was sold to us, go to a college, buy a house, seems to be harder to obtain these days. But what if there is hope on the other side? Voice your opinions and circumstances on the Diara Facebook show page. Our next guest is looking at the glass half full, not empty. Please welcome Fredda Tourin. Thank you for joining us today, Fredda.
Thank you for asking me.
Now, you were a legal assistant for 30 plus years and am now enjoying the time of your life. Were you happy in your career then?
I was lucky. I worked for someone who had connections to the entertainment industry. And so I had a lot of different things to do, and I met a lot of different people in the industry. And it was a challenge.
What was life like in your professional career? Did you feel like it held you back, or did it help you in a sense in the entertainment industry?
Well, it's not what I really wanted to do with my life. I originally started out in journalism. I worked for WNYC. I had my own radio show, 15 minutes of dead air. And then I worked for the Associated Press. And I ran into gender challenges. Being a woman in the field was difficult. And I was not earning the money that I thought I should. And so after 3 years, I went to work for lawyers. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
Wow. I think so many women go through these things even now.
Yeah.
What kind of knowledge could you share about that, like how to deal with that?
Well, it's come in later in life, too. The thing that has been the most important to me has been developing a sense of self-worth. The only person that you need to be responsive to is yourself. You have to feel comfortable. You have to feel fulfilled. I've been lucky. I've been able to take early retirement and follow my heart's desire. And that's led to all different areas. I'm a photographer. I'm a musician. I'm a dancer. I'm an actor. I'm having fun.
Yeah. And what made you shift into acting?
It's something, when I was a child, there were a number of children's shows that originated in New York City. And my great uncle and my cousin were members of IATSE. And so I was always in the background in these children's shows. And I was a show-off. I loved to dance. Music has been a part of my life. I was fascinated by the industry. But, you know, practically, it wasn't an area that I could go into. I had to earn a living. And it was only because my husband and I used to love to go to the theater and go to movies that I continued that love. But I never thought I would go into it.
Have you ever heard of the saying, to be an artist is a rich person's life?
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of the acting schools were wonderful,
yeah.
But they cost more than we could afford. Then about 5 years ago, someone, and I don't know who it is, but I bless this person to this day. One of the public channels, I guess it was one of the PBS channels, was doing a campaign, Viewers Like You. And someone submitted my face, my resume, and I got selected, and the bug bit.
So what type of acting do you like to participate in?
Well, I've been taking lessons in screen acting and in stage acting, and starting with classical theater, like the Greek tragedies. I'm taking my second advanced Shakespeare class this year. I've done screen acting techniques. I've done TV and film and some live theater, but I think I like TV best of all.
Theater can be difficult because
very.
you have to remember the lines word for word, and it's more
Every
noticeable.
day and every night, and it's repetitious.
So your whole life is altered when you are in a play.
It is. It is. I mean, I've always loved to play dress up and become somebody else. Don't we all?
Yes.
You know, and it's difficult because as an older actor, there are challenges. When you go to audition, you do have to compete with the young things that just graduated from drama school. You have to know your own character type. And, you know, I never thought I would be cast as an ingenue. I mean, obviously, I'm 40 years above.
What is an ingenue?
Ingenue is a young actress, like a teenager or a 20-something. You know, the villain still pursues her type, the one the villain pursues. And then 2 years ago, I auditioned for a Zoom play, Christmas Carol, and a director I had worked with was in the room, and a new director was casting the play. And when I finished my audition, the new director said, "Well, what are you auditioning for?" And I got snarky, and I said, "Well, obviously not the ingenue." And my director friend sort of looked at me and said, "Oh, really?" And I was cast in 2 parts for the play, an old crone and, yeah, the ingenue.
Wow.
So,
Do you think it is in our heads about age in this industry,
Yeah.
or
I think a lot of it is and it's not only the industry. People are compartmentalized. You're a teacher, you're a fireman, you're gay, you're straight, you're old, you're young. And we grow up hearing what our parents and our grandparents say. "Oh, I can't do that, I'm too old." "Oh, that's not for me, I'm too old." I have a friend, and I love her dearly, and I've known her since I was 9 years old. She lives in the past. And I've said to her over and over, "I know you don't drive, but let me tell you, you cannot move a car forward if your eyes are on the rear view mirror." And think about it. I mean, you can't change the past. You can accept who you are, who you were. And yeah, I can't dance hip-hop the way I used to, but I can tap dance, and I do.
oh wow, I love your positive outlook because you're so realistic, but you're also optimistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's in our heads.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
Because the more I say, "Oh, I'm too old to do this," I just feel like drained,
Yeah, you
and
do.
you know,
Your body goes in.
because words have power.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've torn my meniscus 5 times, but
Wow.
that does not stop me from dancing.
Wow.
You know?
Go
So
ahead,
I do only
Fredda.
right side moves, you know. I'll catch up later.
Can you dance salsa?
Yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that. I have to
yeah.
learn.
It's cool. It's
Okay.
cool.
So, what are some tips for living a good quality lifestyle?
Don't believe what other people tell you about yourself. The only one that you have to make happy is yourself. But get out there and be with positive people who respect you and accept you. And don't try to categorize you into what they think. I mean, we've all had people who who've said to us, oh, I think I'm losing my mind. Or, you know, nice blank girls don't do that. Well, I've told somebody, well, I'm not a nice blank girl. Yeah. Value yourself. Take care of yourself. Doesn't mean being selfish, but it means taking care of yourself.
You mentioned some things that people may say and they are telling someone about themselves. Is that like generational in a way?
A lot of it is. A lot of it is. It's generational, it's cultural, it's educational. I mean, there are many cultures who respect the elders. American culture is not one of them. But I was raised with many older women as role models. A great aunt of mine founded a school for autistic children over 100 years ago. It went against what society at that time was into. I had another great aunt who used to go to the fashion collections in Paris and Milan, and just she was sort of like my Auntie Mame. I had another aunt who stopped driving at 98. People had said to her, oh, you have to stop when she was 75. And I remember calling her and saying, Aunt Rose, why did you stop driving now? Oh, I've been everywhere I wanted to go, you know. My grandmother raised 6 boys, all over 6 feet, and my mother. And my mother grew up as a strong role model. So you know, this is, you know, everybody has the negative people and the positive people. There were negative people. You know, we used to call them the sob sisters. My grandmother's 2 sisters, I used to call them the harpies because they were the bearers of doom and gloom. It's not being Pollyanna.
Yeah, good relationships and supportive relationships are an important factor in a positive lifestyle. And
being curious.
Being curious.
Being curious. I have an insatiable curiosity. It's going down rabbit holes sometimes. You know, I love music. And if a friend recommends a certain type of music, I'm going to explore that. And you never know. You never know. It's like, you know, the path.
What would you say would be a theme song to Fredda's life?
Oh, God. I Ain't Done Yet.
Wow, I love that. And what about your connection with people? Would you say you're a spiritual person?
Very, very. I'm not religious. I do practice Buddhist meditation. I love going out in nature.
Were you like that as a little girl as well?
Yeah, my granddad always used to say that he felt closer to the Creator in the woods than he did in any man-built temple.
So why is the connection to the people and the ones that you love so important to you?
We don't operate in a vacuum. There's a belief in Eastern religion that we're all connected like a chain of pearls. And if one pearl is damaged, the whole chain is damaged. And so you have to take care of the pearls next to you and down the line.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Fredda.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the De'Ara Show. Remember, no matter what your challenges are, no matter what your obstacles are, stay true to yourself and keep pushing forward. Believe in your dreams and work hard to make them a reality. And most importantly, you are capable of achieving greatness. Keep shining bright, and we'll see you next time.